Disclaimer. The takes on this podcast may not be backed by facts or statistics. In fact, most of the takes on this podcast are backed by feelings, not facts. Unfortunately, podcast equipment is free to purchase by the public. Please enjoy this podcast at your own discretion. On today's show, Devin and Zane debate how good EA Sports' new NCAA football game is going to be. And then they go into which was harder to make, a BR or sports game. It's a good one, so let's strap in.
Yeah, okay, good morning, afternoon, and evening. It's the guy you should believe in. Dropping heat like every season. Underdog like Willie Beeman. Classic like Dom singing. Blasting like bombs ringing.
Welcome back. I'm Devin, that's Zane, and this is Buffet Sports. All right, so the new NCAA, is it by EA Sports, right?
Yes, it's by EA.
The new NCAA game by EA Sports is coming out, and we've been seeing all sorts of features and commentary about the game, and this probably is the most like realistic cool thing I've seen out of the new game. This is essentially crowd noise will affect how the game plays. And they have this we have this a little bit in Madden.
No, we have this a lot in Madden.
But
not
they took
crowd
it out.
noise, but it's based off of like if you throw a pick, they get a sack and then like another sack or something, and that bar goes all the way up and they have the certain ability on their team, then all your play routes are wiggly.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Never seen that.
this is strictly off of just like game
Crowd
noise.
Yeah, see, and that's the cool thing to me is
I think this is terrible.
No, but this is cool though, because you can then get the crowd into it, because now the crowd matters. You can get and if the crowd is into it, you have a big play or something like that, then you come out on defense and it's this, bro, and the stadium's rocking. I think that's pretty cool. And for a college game, it makes sense. If you did this in Madden, I'd be like, no, that's terrible. But college, because think about it. Remember when Michigan had to call a timeout at Penn State during a whiteout night? On the first snap of the game because they couldn't hear anything. This is actually accurate. And that's what they're playing in the clip is Michigan versus Penn State.
Okay, but is it because like what's the reasoning that the developers are putting this in? Are they doing it based off of like fans and like Penn State whiteout? Like so every time it's a Penn State whiteout game, it's going to be like this? Or do they literally just have that same meter that I was just talking about just in the background to where you can't see it, to where if you throw a pick and then the opposing team gets a sack and they have this ability on their team, it goes to the squiggly lines. Is that just in the background and it's the same as Madden, or is this a new feature that they're adding in?
This is apparently a little bit different, that it's based on it's based on the crowd, like the actual crowds.
I know it's based on like the actual crowds, but why wouldn't they put in like during the Legion of Boom, you know, when the Seattle Seahawks broke the record for loudest stadium, you know, why didn't they have that?
Because Madden's garbage.
It's the same company that is making both of these games.
Yeah, I think there's a more passionate. I don't know, to be honest with you, why there's a big difference. Maybe the next Madden game will be that much different. The other thing about this game is it's been so long.
Everyone keeps saying that like Madden's going to be so much better because there's competition now. It's the same studio making both of the games. There's no competition at all. People who love Madden are going to buy NCAA, and then when the new Madden comes out, they're going to buy that one too.
I don't know. One difference with this is there is a composure rating for each player. So when things get tight and it's in these situations, and you see there's guys that have the question mark above their head, they have a low composure rating, meaning that they have a hard time understanding and reading the play. That's
also in Madden.
Okay, then why didn't you just run the segment, Zane?
Because I didn't know where you were going with this, like pointing this out. Like this is all stuff I've seen before.
Then why did we do it?
You said you wanted to do it. You wanted to talk about it.
Why didn't you just say, no, it's dumb, it's in Madden?
I thought you had a better point than just pointing out stuff that's already in Madden.
I didn't know. I'm not a huge, like, I play
okay, only thing that's different, Road to Glory, right? It's going to be actually in depth instead of just regular Madden franchise. And then which probably isn't true. The new animations and how smooth it is. That's what they say every year. But there's probably going to be nothing. It's literally going to be just a reskin with a couple added features like every game is. And they're probably just going to add more features that they would have put in the new Madden that they're throwing into this one because it's really hyped right now.
I think the biggest thing with this game is it's just there's such a large fandom that started playing video games on the NCAA franchise, and we haven't had one in forever. And so people have been still playing that old NCAA game. Like
Yeah.
Travis. Travis has been playing that game since like it came out, bro. He still plays it. So I'm sure that people like that's majority of it. It's the nostalgia and it's being able to play in these like different college stadiums. I'm sure that's mostly it. Because like playing in the
I'll
dome, like people don't know Idaho anymore. People knew Idaho because they'd play in the dome on the game. Now
Mhm.
people don't know it because no one plays because the game hasn't been relevant. Now I'm sure people the OGs will go back and play in the dome again.
See, now that's a that's a good one. See, now that was a good one. I really like that little segment that you had right there. I'm just worried that it is not like the old NCAAs and it is a Madden reskin marketed as the old double NCAAs. Because they've
Which
taken
one do
out
you want?
I want this
You want
NCAA.
reskin?
No, I want this NCAA to
Uh,
be the old NCAA.
oh,
I don't think it is. I think it's just going to be Madden but with college teams.
I don't know. Apparently,
They took
like
out mascots. They took out the mascots. Your road to glory doesn't start in high school like it used to. And then, I mean, now we're talking about these abilities that we've already seen in Madden. I guess there's wear and tear now. Did you hear about that? They added wear and tear to the game to where if your QB gets sacked and he can now get injured during the game and affect how he plays for the rest of the game. Who in the hell wants that? Who in the hell wants to be playing the game and then your flipping QB's doing a rollout, rolls his ankle, and all of a sudden he has to limp around the field for the next 3 quarters? Who asked for that to be in the game? I personally didn't. I don't know if any like NCAA or Madden fan who wants wear and tear in their game. Yeah, okay, just imagine this. Me and you playing. Me and you are playing. I'm up one score. I take a D end and I sack you.
mhm.
All of a sudden he has a wrist injury and now he throws just ducks all over the place. You gonna be happy with that?
I'm just gonna sub him out.
Sure you are. I'm sure you are. You play so calm and collective, but on Madden you turn into like an animal, just like a rage induced animal on Madden.
What do you mean?
This would get you the quit. If wear and
What?
tear happened to you, let's say I have a
Oh,
stupid play. I have a stupid
mhm.
play to where I go up a score, and then your QB or your number one wide receiver gets wear and tear. You would quit. You would quit off that.
I don't know. I quit on stupid. I that's not that dumb to me though. It's a part of the game.
Yeah, sure.
What I quit on is when I've got one-on-one coverage down the field and I'm throwing a 15-yard ball and it's slightly over and it's slightly underthrown and you teleport through the chest of my player and get a pick. That's when I rage quit.
You don't think that's going to be in this game?
I'm sure it will. I'm sure that I'll still rage quit playing this game, but it's the nostalgia, it's the fun, it's
Oh,
playing the college game.
I do want to talk about because everybody who really wants this game to be good is constantly talking about in the comments. Because the main thing about this is everyone's like, it's just a Madden reskin. There's people in the comments saying, like, bro, it's football. How much different do you want it to be? I just want to point out to you.
That's kind of a good point.
Okay, I'm about to destroy that point really quick. I just want to point out to you Call of Duty Warzone. This gigantic, humongous map with 150 people, 150 real people constantly moving around and shooting guns in this game. And you can literally be on one side of this gigantic map, shoot a bullet, and then hit somebody on the other side of this gigantic map, and they will die. So now, with that in mind, we have a multi-million-dollar company that cannot make it to where your guy glitches through a wide receiver and picks somebody off. You cannot have it to where Fred Warner doesn't jump 10 feet in the air and pick off a, a, a bullet pass down the middle. You can't have that. Like, I feel like this idea, I feel like we're so brainwashed because Madden has
Wait, how do these two go together? How are you what?
game companies, development studios, right?
Okay.
Look at how impressive Warzone is, right? The first Warzone that came out like 5 years ago.
Why was Warzone so impressive? I'm failing to connect the dots of
Okay, so
why.
so we have a football field, right? 100 yards long.
Okay.
That's it. We have a video game that had an entire football field as a POI, and then it had like 13 other POIs, and plus in between. So we have basically 100x the size
Yeah.
just in the map, and then we have 150 real players running around that map all at once.
There's the difference. Pause. There's the difference. 150 real players,
Yep.
2 real players, 20 CPUs.
Yeah, so why can't a multi-million-dollar company make a good game that isn't glitchy and doesn't have and like make a realistic game that feels realistic and it's not stuck by animations? You see what I'm saying here? Is
Because
that
the animations run the CPU based on a series of X zeros and ones. Those animations run the CPU. When you have 150 individual players, they can make
that's
their own
that's
decisions.
more impressive having 150 real players. And
No,
yes,
because
it
all you
is.
need is a server, and then the players control their player.
Brother, there's no shot you're trying to tell me that making a football game is harder than a Warzone match. That a Warzone match is less impressive than somebody making a Madden game.
From a
There's
computing, from a processing perspective, it is because you're having
no shot.
CPUs. You're
No
using
shot.
CPUs. Yes.
There's no shot you're trying to say that right now. That it is harder to make a football game, a game they have been making for 10 plus years. It's in the current state it is right now. It is more impressive after all this time. They're constantly working at the same shit over and over again.
What changes have they made
Constantly.
in Warzone? It's been the same game since it came out.
But there's nothing wrong about it. Right? There's like what's
I
the
would
hackers?
I guarantee
The
I guarantee
hackers?
if you were a hardcore
The
player
net
of
code
that game,
is amazing on Warzone. Let's just talk about net code. Let's just talk about latency, and let's just talk about that for a second. You are playing one person. You're playing one person on an NFL football field. The flipping lag sometimes is insane, and you still have people glitching across the field. And then you have 150 people all running around at the same time, and it's fine. And you're trying to tell me that's less impressive?
I don't think that's true. I think it depends on your internet speed. Because when I played Warzone, remember, it was tragic. I don't
You
think
also
that.
have a PS4, brother.
Okay.
You're playing an old gen console. That's
Okay.
that's the same as like an Xbox 360 loading up Warzone.
Okay. But either way, I don't think it's comparable. I don't think it's comparable.
I'm saying everybody else is miles ahead of Madden, and we still think that Madden's at the forefront of
I'd
sports
never
video
said that
games.
Madden is the forefront of video games.
I'm not. I
No,
wasn't talking
no,
about you. I was talking about the comments at first, and then you brought yourself into this.
sports games are not at the forefront, but I don't think it's so crazy what Warzone is doing in comparison to Madden.
That's just completely wrong.
I want you to give me facts instead of just telling me I'm wrong.
Okay, so let's say I have an LMG. I
Give me
fire.
numbers. Give me numbers.
What do you mean? Give you numbers? You want me to look up stats or something? Like what?
Yes,
Explain
give me
that.
numbers.
Okay,
You're just
so
saying you're wrong.
but just think about this. I have 50 people in a match have an LMG. They fire 5,000 rounds because there's 50 of them with a 100-round mag.
Okay.
Every single one of those bullets is tracked throughout that entire game. And that's not even including the other 100 people with different guns currently shooting. All of that is being tracked right here, right now. And then we have a game where it's just two people throwing a football, and we have glitches, and we can't make it feel like real life.
I don't think that either way. I mean, there's still tons of glitches within our like BRs.
The gameplay, right? The gameplay in Madden is you have a guy glitch through another guy and get an interception. You have Fred Warner jump 10 feet in the air and get a pick, right? Like the glitches
Yeah,
in Warzone is like
yes.
you can get underneath the map. But as far as like the gameplay where you are, there's 100 people shooting 1,000 bullets every minute, and all of those are constantly being tracked, and you don't think that's impressive?
So the worst thing for Madden is you end up with a wrong camera angle or Fred Warner getting a pick, but then you can end up under the map and run the game in your BR that you're talking about that you're sucking off right now.
Let's move on. This conversation is going nowhere because you have no idea like how impressive like a battle royale actually is compared to two people playing a game on the internet. Just two people. Like the amount of funds and time that went into making Warzone, if that amount of time and funds got transferred over into making a sports game, it would be incredible.
Yeah, we debated how good the new NCAA game is going to be, and then debated are BRs or sports games harder to make. So comment that down below. I'm on the side of I don't think that
He doesn't think a BR is harder to make than a sports game.
no, I don't think it's not harder, but I think from a
You don't think it's more impressive. You think it's more impressive. Madden in its current state is more impressive than Warzone. That's what you were arguing.
I think yeah, I think the amount of CPUs that you're having to use is more impressive than having each player control their player.
Yeah,
Is
sure.
my argument.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm Devin and that's Zane, and this is Buffet Sports. You can catch us on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram at buffet.sports. We post every day, if not twice a day. Like, comment, subscribe. Make sure to leave a comment. We do a comment show every week. Ciao, guys.